Hello, hello. Waiting for people to show up. Wonder if those notifications go out any differently during the holidays. Probably not. Probably the same old, same old. Fighting the same system. How you doing, Chow? Merry Christmas. Or Merry Christmas Eve. Very nice to see you. Yes, deja vu, huh, from this morning. It's kind of an odd time of year, right? Because I was so used to celebrating this time of year as the birth of Christ, and then of course you hear about that it's really not that, it's some kind of paganism or something like that mixed in, and just another thing in the community or a lie or whatever, and then part of you wants to ignore that and just still do what we were doing and just think of God, right? Of course, part of us wants to celebrate God every day. And so it's kind of it's weird because we all handle it differently, right? When we find out these things, sometimes they're easy to let go. Sometimes it's not easy to let go, you know? And even if we're able to let it go, what about our other family members, And so while I accept the truth about Christmas being not what they said it is, I also have an absolute imprint in my heart that, that this was about Jesus the whole time, because I never intended it in my heart to be anything else, right? And so I accept it in that way. Hey, Sheila. Hey, Deb. Of course, Chow is here. And I don't know, man. It's kind of a tough one, but it's not the most important thing in the world, I guess, if you look at it from the standpoint of any excuse for me to think about God, right? And I guess like I spent most of my life really not knowing how important God, like I knew God was important like at some point in my life, and I knew that God was this big part of my life, right? Anyway, and he was, But now knowing what I know now, right? I mean, God is life. I mean, there is nothing else but God. Like there is no other reason to be here, right? It's like we're here basically on this adventure, right? To live and do what God wants us to do, and then get out of here, right? And if this wasn't a fallen world, we'd be all trying to make it work here, this would be the place to try to pitch in and make everything better. And I think the world is fallen, right? And the next place is incorruptible, right? So it's like the devil knows that the only way to exist is for us, for him, right? Is for us to cling on to this life, right? He always wants us to take the worst deal, because there is no room for Satan on the next level, right? There is no proclivity to want to do the wrong thing, or that urge to, have another ice cream sundae, or that urge to drink a little too much, or, these things, right? Because it wouldn't be fallen. Like we're willing to give our will and our lives over to the care of God, right? And a lot of people aren't willing to give up that piece of control. They want the ability to still do wrong if they want. And I think that's what it is, right? Because if you look at it on its face value, all you got to do is believe these certain things, right? And then you are saved, right? It must be harder than that. And like for us, it's like, oh yeah, easy, right? Like I believe that because I love God and I want to move on, right? But maybe it is like part of it is giving up the control of whether or not to do right or wrong, because being incorruptible means we'll never have that, even have that choice, right? And so are we giving up part of our humanity, right, to gain something way better? And for some people, I don't think they could even think about that as a possibility. Oh, Shulamite helped you with this, like looking up all the stuff. Let me block this one user here. Um, so we fix our eyes not on. Hold on a second. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. 2 Corinthians 4:18. Absolutely. That might be the verse of the day right there, because that's what it is, right? We know that this is a fallen place, right? The reason we want to get out of here so bad, right, is not because it's so horrible for us to live, right? Like it is horrible, but it's not like we can't go outside and eat food, and we're not suffering right now at this moment, right? The suffering comes from, I don't want to live the way this world wants to go, even though it hasn't even happened to us yet. It's the whole idea of, I don't want to live in a corruptible world where people can choose to do what they want to me. I want to live in a world where only God chooses that. And I don't even want to choose it for myself. Hey, Cold Steel, Merry Christmas, man. It's good to see you. And so, yeah, I mean, I try to take it all, like, with this truth stuff, right? I try to take it all with, grain of salt, right? It's like I know what I mean in my heart by things, right? I know what my intentions are. I know what uh you know because what's weird is there's always going to be people that misread you. There's always going to be people that it's always going to be people that put their own uh interpretation of what you're trying to do, or they might be projecting their own insecurities onto you, right? And it's just, hey Ann, how you doing? I remember, Ann, I remember back in the day, I saw a video, you did a video like 2 years ago of these people that were like like shapeshifters or something like that. And they were all bent backwards and everything, and it was spooky. It was a spooky deal, and I always remember that you did that video, and man, it's certainly scary, man. Some of these things that are out there that I had no idea was, a part of our reality, right? And this whole time they were out there, and we would even used to call people crazy for saying that they seen stuff out there that was wacky like that, like, oh, you're a nut. But really, that was the truth the whole time, is that there's these weird demons out there doing weird stuff. And so, yeah, I always appreciated watching some of your stuff, because it's like it was real, right? Your real life and what you were pointing out. Yes, they are demons. Oh my God. Isn't that spooky though, Anne? Like they were like walking backwards and all bent up and ugh. almost like a grasshopper. They were all curled up like a grasshopper. Oh my God. I shiver thinking about it. And they can jump and all kinds of, they can jump high. Oof. Can you imagine like the Olympics or something like that? And these things running around and yeah, real stuff. You're right about that, like, and you would think that I would know this, right? Because I growing up in the Bay Area, right, in California, like with all the weirdness, in, around the city, you'd think that I would I would have seen that. But they're good at hiding their stuff, man. And I have no idea how they're able to keep these secrets. Hold on a second, guys. I have to grab something. And I have no idea how they're able to keep these secrets. Oh, that's cool. Sheila, thanks for letting me know. But it's like they can keep these secrets from us, right? Like they're all in this secret club. And there's way more of them in on it than we think. Almost to the point where I feel like we're like the like overwhelming minority. And like I wish that they couldn't lie. Like I know that sounds crazy, right? But I wish that they couldn't lie about being a Christian or anything like that, because like I know that there's a lot of people lying to me about that, right? That are around me. That it's like I wish that they couldn't lie about that. I wish they had to tell the truth or something, because it seems like there's a lot of people that come after us with a Bible that don't have our best interests in mind, and I don't think that should be fair that they could be able to lie about that. You know? I think there should be more rules for us to. I mean, it's definitely wears me down. Hey, dearest Don, how you doing? I like your picture. It's kind of wintry, to say the least. It's like the Ice Queen or something. I don't know how to. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah, for sure. Hey, Sasquatch. Oh, I didn't see you. I didn't see you come in here. Is that your first entry? Is the monkey fart or something? That is goofy. Yeah. I wish that like when people spoke about the Bible that they like were forced to somehow tell the truth, so that way we knew, okay, here's the God with the Bible. They'll explain things to us, right? But I mean that's lazy, right? I mean that's being lazy because we really need to get in the word and be in there all the time. Let me read this. I'm sorry, Chow, I'm behind here. Speaking of children and births, Genesis 4:1 reads, Adam made love to his wife Eve, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. Crazy how unclear that verse is to some people. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I can understand that for sure. There's a lot of fights going on about that one. And a lot of back and forth stuff. Hey, what's up, Effie? Plain to see. Good evening. Nice to see you. Man, we're getting a lot of people lately. These last couple of shows have been just packed. Like I've been pretty happy about that. I like the small groups too, when it's just us. But it's also good to see like bigger shows too. I think it's pretty good. And like I wanted to get like Uncool Paranoia on here. Samira, I think she would be good to have on here. But she did yeah, test the fruits. That's the way to do it, right? Well, she did like an impromptu. I know, Chow. I know. I get it. I get it for sure. But yeah, with she did like an impromptu kind of thing, and I was like, oh, I'd love to have you on the show. And she said that maybe another time because she was going to be busy. What's up, Weldon? Yeah, that's a little weird. That's a little weird. Weird writing. I'm not good at all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff going on, you know. And I try to like put it together, right? Like I try to make everything a teaching moment, right? And everything like a um an explanation as to what's going on, right? And I sometimes I don't get it until I'm outside of it, you know? And it's hard because when I'm in the moment, right? Especially if I like somebody or if they're my friend or something like that, it hurts in the moment, right? Emotionally, right? Because you're like, man, I really like that person. Why are they being like that to me? You know, like it feels it feels really personal, you know? And you're like, I had no intention of that, this or that or whatever, right? And then when you go back and look at it and you're like, man, I did everything I could. Why are people taking it this way? And then you got to factor in, well, they have emotions surrounding their own stuff in it. And then they have a history with the people and many variables to deal with on that. But what I try to make sure is that, like, if people go back, right? Oh, don't worry about it, Shannon. Don't worry about it. And if people go back, right, I want to make sure that people know that okay, I haven't said anything a bad name about anybody or anything negative about people, right? I just try to do the most positive thing at the time, right? And sometimes I'm managing several things in a very short period of time. And I just do my best, right? To alleviate each thing and try to not be self-centered in it, right? Where I don't just put my own emotions or whatever, you know? I don't know what you mean. Oh, what's up, Sasquatch? Know the feeling later. Oh, okay, see you later. Have a good one. First impression, not friendly to new people. Good night. Okay, I'm right. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do. I said hi to you. It's nice to see you. Welcome, I guess. You know, you're just as welcome as anybody else, part of the family. But yeah, I was just in the middle of explaining something. But yeah, I don't, whatever. Can only do your best, you know. That's all I could do, you know. And so I know, tough crowd, man. Well, I don't look at it like that, right? I mean, they might have stuff going on. Who knows what's going on in their lives, right? We live our lives in a, in this mind control, right? We get lied to our whole lives and brainwashed and spit out the other side, right? And then we get to this point, right? And I guess we have these expectations, right? These expectations that people are gonna like move out of the way just for you, you know. And yeah, I wish I could make this whole stream about you, you know, because you are that special to me, and that's reality. But it's not about you. It's about everybody. It's about God, really. Number one, first and foremost, right? And outreach, you know. And sometimes you got to reach out to the most undesirablest, most, hardest core person, right? That probably won't get saved, right? And love on them, right? Because they're hard to love, right? But people don't want to do that. They just want to be, oh, we're supposed to be equally yoked and just hang out with people that agree with us, right? Not really. Oh, okay, well then we'll just let everybody in and just accept their stuff. No, that's not right either. We got to reach out to people that are broken and help them get right. Yeah, the internet made society into instant gratification, right? They come here for 2 minutes and if you don't make the whole world about them, right? It's oh yeah, this is horrible. I know the feeling. I'm out of here too, you know. And then it's like, okay, well, if you feel I've done you wrong in your life, when you've come here every time you wanted to come here and we're never banned and we're able to say whatever you want to say and I'm excited to see you, right? If that's not enough, well then I'm sorry. You know, what can I do? And yeah, it's always worth a try, right? Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like even after that, right? Even after that kind of a thing, uh I'm still cool with somebody like that. Maybe they're going through stuff, right? Maybe it's a point of view I don't really or maybe it's a perspective I just don't get at this moment, right? And maybe I'm not being the most friendly that I've ever been. You know, I've had a rough couple days too, man. You know, usually I don't get like shook or anything like that, or I don't get my feelings hurt usually, but they did the last couple days, and I was tripping today a little bit. You know, like I don't like it when because I don't get treated like that very often. You know, like because I don't do anything intentionally bad to anybody, and so when I get misunderstood like that, it really bothers me. You know, because it feels unfair. You know, but life isn't fair. So I mean, everybody faces an uphill battle in life, right? Nobody escapes that, no matter how good you try to be, right? And a lot of times, like when Jesus was out there, he would say or do something that people didn't understand, and there would be some kind of chaos that ensued, right? Some kind of unclear understanding of things, right? And he had to explain it, you know. And so I get it, right? If you're gonna try to you know act like Jesus and try to have the Holy Spirit and try to spread um, the good news to sinners and publicans and tax collectors, right? Instead of going to comfort the insiders and the Pharisees, right? You're out there searching out demons, right? Well, yeah, sometimes you're going to have to skip over your friend to help a demon, right? Because that demon's going to end up in the lake of fire. And your friend's going to have eternity to be self centered, right? So, you know, sorry if I am not, sorry if I didn't make things more comfortable for somebody. You know, what can you do, right? And so, yeah, maybe I should have. Oh, I don't know what all that stuff is, Cindy. Is that Hawaiian or something? Aloha, kalikam. I don't know. I don't know what that means. Probably Merry Christmas, right? Maybe I should drop the link and see if somebody wants to come up. I'll do that. Maybe I'll get barked at. Who knows? I hope it's not a troll. If anybody feels like coming up, or Shannon or whoever, I don't care. If anybody feels brave, you know, I don't know. Yeah, it looks like it's Hawaiian. That looks nice, festive. You know, thanks for saying that, Cindy. Merry Christmas to you too. I mean, overall, right? Oh, thank you, Evangelist Michael. I'm. Thank you for saying that. You know, it is Shannon. I'm gonna have her come on the show. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I gotta click the button. Hello, Shannon. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Merry Christmas, brother. I'm good.
Yes. Well, I was you know, I don't know if you saw this whole stream, but it's been kind of tough, right? Like kind of like
Yeah.
somebody came that was new and I don't know what else to do, you know? Like I thought I thought I said hello and everything, but
Well,
I could
I saw that too. There's not a whole lot you can do because I mean, we've said this before. You can't make every single person happy, and sometimes you get on a roll talking about a certain subject, and
Hmm.
a comment comes and goes, and sometimes the comments go so fast I can't even catch everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, you just try to bounce back and like, geez, sorry I missed you. Hope you come back. Bye.
Well, there was actually times, right, where like I would be talking about some stuff, right?
Uh
And then
huh.
a whole fight would happen in the comment sections, and I would have no
Oh, I know.
idea, I had
Yeah.
no idea that it happened. And then afterwards, people saying, "Oh yeah, it's vicious up in that chat," blah blah blah. I'm like, "What? It was nice," because I was reading chats going along, right?
Yeah.
And then going back over it, right? Because I never re-listen to my stuff, and I hardly ever go over the chats, but unless someone like gives me a section to look at or something. But
Yeah.
then you see it, you're like, oh man, there was a vicious fight between two
There was
people.
a bunch of comments you totally missed. It's like walking into a room and like, okay, what just happened?
I
Like,
know it.
oh, should I leave? Should I come back? You
It's
guys need a minute?
crazy. And I don't think
Um,
people understand also is that like some of those comments are coming in like 15 seconds before. Like I'll be talking
uh-huh.
about something and then they'll comment about what I was talking about before, but I'll think that that comment is from something new,
Oh,
you
I
know?
know. Oh, I
And
know what you mean. When you finally realize you finally follow the comments, and then you realize you're not following it correctly, and everybody's like,
right,
"No, that's not what we meant," and you're like, "Oh, sorry."
right.
I know
Because
what
you
you
think
mean.
because you get a comment and you're like, oh yeah, I guess, blah 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 blah, and then they're like, no, 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 I was saying that about the last thing you said, and then you get all mixed up or whatever.
Yeah.
I think
Whoops.
it's always funny. Hey, Cellar Door, how you doing?
Cellar door. Oh, I
Yeah.
saw Cellar door this morning. Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she
Yeah.
likes the Hawaiian Christmas. I was sitting there posting like Merry Christmas in different languages. And Mele Kalikimaka was like what we used to say in Hawaii. And she loves the Hawaiian Christmas song. I do too, Cellar Door. Good on you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Well, I
But
saw I left a message for Samira to come on the show. I even asked her to come on tonight, but it was too short of a notice.
oh,
I think
yeah,
she'll be good.
she finally got out of the bad girl YouTube corner.
I know
That
it.
girl. We've
I
all
think she'd
been
be
there.
I think she'd be a good guest though.
She would call her uncool though.
Uncool.
I
That's
think she's
right.
trying to keep her name a little more
Ah,
private.
I
So,
get it. I get it.
so
I get
yeah,
it.
call her uncool. She does want to come on, but I know she's also got mama responsibilities. So when her daughter's there, um,
Yeah.
she tries to make time with her, and then she comes on to the live streams when she doesn't have her daughter visiting at the time.
Oh, I
So
get
yeah,
it. Yeah.
on one
See,
thing.
I did want to try to do that like at first, right? Try to keep my name like private, but that's almost impossible. There's so many people trying to search you out. Because you know what I made the mistake is that I came out just being kind of a flat Earth channel. But
Oh,
there was
really?
so many, yeah. There was like, well, we were Christians, right? But we were
Right?
like flat Earth Christians, right? And that was like the big thing was flat earth, right? And
Yeah.
but then there's a lot of flat earth haters. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
just the fact that they hate you and then, like all these comments about you should go kill yourself and die and all this,
What?
like, yeah, it was like horrible at first, right? It was like the worst, right? And then they would like search you out and like find out who your name is and all this stuff, and so there's no hiding it. Like I don't know
Has
how they
anybody
do it.
actually like tried to come over where you are?
No, not physically, but
Oh,
I've
thank
been
goodness.
I've been threatened every kind of way though. Like
Just for
like
that, huh?
where they name like your relatives and stuff, and you're like, oh wow, that's not cool. Like they'll like say like your uncle's name or your mom and dad or whatever, and
Right.
I'm like,
Deb
wow,
says
man, that's
Deb
pretty
says she
cold
uses
blooded.
her true sorry. Deb says she uses her true name. No reason to hide, but Deb, if anybody ever tried to search you out, it'll be to give you a big hug. You're so sweet.
Mm-hmm. I know it. I know it. Well, sometimes I feel like there's people that I met that are just so nice. I just want to stand guard. I just want to guard them with a weapon, you know? Like I just
Yeah,
don't want anything bad to happen to them, you know? But
I
like
know.
all it's like all my people, they all live in like the Midwest or some people in in Europe and some in Australia, but most of
Oh,
them
I
all live
know.
there. Most of them all live there near Michigan. You're like, why does everyone
What
live
is,
out there, you know?
property must be cheap in Michigan. Why does
I
everybody live there? I
I
heard it's
guess
great. No.
it's like they're all close to that area. They're all close to each other or whatever. It's weird.
Luke says that it's really wild. People make threats. That's funny, Luke, because I was just talking to my husband about the last time I was on the live stream with you, and he was there, and I think it was Rob. Is it Rob, ROBB? I haven't seen him on tonight, but he made a comment last time I was on stream with you about what do you think God thinks of us right now, or thinks about what we're doing right now, and it was kind of like a really cool, profound question. But my husband just asked me before I got on with you. He was like, imagine how people should be acting like if Jesus were sitting right next to you.
Oh
All the
yeah.
things that people say online, and all the things that people do, and how they, and this is kind of also in reference to, I'm sorry, but the little mishap you had a couple days ago with
Yeah.
the argument. And it's like if Jesus was sitting right there next to both those guys, or next to all of us, would you really be saying that stuff? I mean, we say that stuff and we act certain ways because we don't think, we forget that, we think that
Yeah.
nobody is going to notice, or what. But what if it was Jesus? What if he
Yeah.
was sitting right there looking right at you, like a father you wouldn't want to disappoint, and then you say
Absolutely.
stuff and you're like, I don't think we realize that he is sitting next to us and he does see what we're doing. And would we really act that way if we were aware of that a little more?
Well,
You know?
I'll say this, right? Is like I was a Christian probably 10 years before I found out about flat Earth, right?
Uh
But then
huh.
when flat Earth happened, and then, like I realized like we're not on a spinning ball that could have happened naturally, right? Like then it got more real to me, you know? Like I was like,
Right.
wow, he is watching. Like I'm afraid to sin now. Like
Yeah.
now like when I do something small, I apologize about it and like feel horrible, and even small things, right? But then what gets me is that there are people that are like really aggressively mean, right? that
Yeah.
that like it's like they get pleasure in being horrible. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It's the
I know
opposite kind of.
exactly what you mean. And it's like they enjoy it and they live for it. And it's like, I wonder sometimes why do they need that drama in their life? I just think that creates more anxiety than you need, but it seems like some people can't live without it. Like if
uh
everything were peaceful and calm in your life, you'd be content, right? Like
I know it.
you'd
You
be
think.
comfortable. But some people aren't comfortable with that. Like their life should be content and should be complete, but they for some reason got to make a phone call and stir the pot, as my dad used to say. Grab
I
that
know.
grab that paddle and start stirring the pot, and
Right, right.
it's I don't understand it either, but
Some people I know it. Hey, look, they love the chaos. Here, let me invite Cindy on here for a second. Cindy's on here. Let her say hi. Hey, Cindy, how you doing? Are you here? Oh, hold on. Let me add her.
Me. There I
There you
am.
are. How are you doing?
Okay, one
Mer-
line. You
Mer-
ready?
Merry
You ready?
Christmas. Yeah.
All right, listen.
Mili Kalikimaka Mika Haole Makihiki Hao.
Yay. Is that your
Merry
husband?
Christmas and a
Yes,
Happy New Year.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
that's
Yes.
that's
Nice
the
to
full
hear from you.
Hawaiian, okay?
Oh, that
that's
sounds great.
Happy New Year as well.
Okay, good night.
Good night. I'll see you later then, Cindy. You want me to take you off the stream?
Yeah,
Okay, hold
bye-bye.
on. All right, bye. All right, I'll take you off the stream. Let me click it. Hold on. I have to unclick it. That was nice. Yeah.
That's funny. Hi, Clutch. That
There's Ray of
reminds me.
Sunshine. Yay.
I know. I was gonna say Ray of Sunshine's here too. My evangelist Michael said Jesus has the power to forgive all sins. We make mistakes and we fall short. Isn't that nice though that he
Yeah.
does have the power to forgive all sins, and he does,
It's amazing.
because we're just not good enough. None of us are.
We're not. We're just, I'm a filthy rag, you know? And I was like feeling like you would not believe, like earlier today, I was feeling so hurt and so like misunderstood and so frustrated, right? And then just
Yeah.
instantly after I vented to like, 4 or 5 people, right? Like, then I'm like, oh, I feel better automatically right now.
Yeah.
Like it was like instantly, right? And I was like, oh, thank God I have good friends that'll like hear my like griping, right? Like, because normally I'm not like that, But like I'm like, you know what? I'm just a filthy rag, just like everybody else, right? And Jesus came and paid the price for us, and if we all want to, we can give up our rebellious spirit and go on to the next level,
That's
And
true.
isn't that a great feeling to know that we can all start like at zero again, right?
It's something great. Yeah, and we have a chance. It's a
Yeah,
great feeling to have that chance, because if we
yeah,
didn't have that chance, what's the point of going on and on? So we agree.
it's
So
beautiful.
I'm
Yeah,
reading Ya's comment. She says the wicked can't rest unless they cause the righteous to fall. That's a very good point.
yeah.
That's a
It's
very
like
good point. That's
it,
why we got to try even harder and hold each other up.
like I've seen people that were like not saved that were like very close, like they try to do all the right things, right? And they're pretty decent people, right? And like
Right.
I've seen that before, right? And I've also seen people that were not saved that like got joy out of you not making it. Like if they could pull
Yeah.
you away from God, they were happy to do it. And I wonder if there's a distinction, right, between the two as far as like the hardness of people's hearts and all that. This is why I wish we knew the truth from birth, right? So we
Yeah.
knew like the nuances of God's word and people's heart condition and like what we needed to do for each person, right? But
Oh, right.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
No,
but
and you ever like you ever run into somebody and you're just like, what the hell is their problem? And it's just, sometimes they're say something to you, or they're nasty to you and you don't know why. And it's just like, wow, that person's got, issues. But the truth is, maybe that person does have issues. We
yeah,
have, I know from meeting families that like come in and they're doing funeral arrangements, like I can't even imagine having to go in on a Tuesday afternoon and making a funeral arrangement for my husband or my son. That would just tear my heart out. And then afterwards you have to go to the grocery store. How are you supposed to be cheery? I guess the point is, like, if we don't know the truth of what's going on in somebody's heart,
yeah,
it's hard to really not to be judgy, I guess, is the point. you know
yeah.
and being judgy is a sin, and we try not to be. But I mean, our reaction is usually, when we interact with people, our immediate reaction is to put up our guard and get defensive and just like, oh my god, what a bad attitude he has, or something.
I try to look at it like this, right? Because like my dad was kind of a vicious kind of dude, right? But
Yeah.
I could tell his intentions, right, were not always bad, right? And so
Yeah.
like it got me to think of like looking at these people like, okay, maybe they're just like they're more sick as opposed to bad, like
Oh,
like maybe they just need to get well and look at this as like sin is like a disease, that maybe you're born with some of it, maybe you acquire some of it, like, but
like it's the sickness in them.
yeah,
That's an interesting concept. That's a good way of looking at it too. I hadn't thought of that.
because
But
then you could like find some joy in like, okay, I'm a sick person getting better as opposed to, oh, I'm a bad person getting good, right? Like it has
Yeah.
that connotation that like, oh, other people are better than me or something, or you know what
But
I
doesn't
mean?
that
Like,
make sense when you talk about healing,
yeah,
and not just healing like physically, but healing their heart for those sins? I'm just playing on words, but it is a really good way of looking at it for people. It's
it's
just hard
interesting.
though. It's
It
just so
is.
hard though when you're surrounded by a lot of people, more than one, and you're the only one, and you just want to. I don't want to say you just want to be left alone. You just don't want to argue. You don't want to fight. You don't want to have
Yeah,
a conflict, but
I get what
they
you
do.
mean. And it can also be like it's so like it wears you out and you're just like so defeated and you're like
Yes,
like why are they saying that I'm crazy, like
right.
I'm trying to help them out and they hate me, like what I don't get it.
Or because you
And
don't fit in like the clique or something. I don't. Yeah, yeah. I know what you
well,
mean.
sometimes people will say things about me and I'm like looking around like are they talking about me, like are they talking about some other person, like is this
Yeah,
what people think of me? Like it's crazy, right? Like,
it's
and I'm
a
like,
complete blow to the gut, isn't it? You're just.
it is, it is,
I know what you mean. It's just I have times where I think everything's so hunky dory, and then all of a sudden somebody will make a comment like, "Well, the team is a little worried about the animosity," and I'm like, "What animosity?"
right, right. What are you
I,
talking about?
okay, and then once they point it out, you're just like, all right, I don't even want to create that animosity by being around, so I kind of tend to avoid that group, and it's so it makes life so rough sometimes because you just like do I keep persevering for them, or do I just kind of walk away from this group? It's a hard
Yeah,
choice. I don't
it
know.
is.
I know what you mean.
It's
I've been
it's
there.
so it's so nuanced that like how do we know? And then like I'm constantly listening to the audio Bible or reading the Bible, right? And I'm trying to find all these answers, right? And once in a while I get a little nugget here and there, but I don't really learn that much every day. Like I
Yeah.
think I think it's more like just maintaining what I have heard before. And
Well,
today I was going through John a couple of times, right? Like
yeah.
I tried to listen to it twice, which is hard because it's almost 2 hours, right? But
Oh my
it's like
gosh.
then I was like, well, I went through this one guy's like lessons on John, which was like many 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 hours more than the actual how long the book takes, right? And
Right.
and he was describing each word, right? And I was like, well, maybe I'll learn more this way. And but man, it just didn't sing to me like it like just
It
going
just
through
you
it
get
does.
lost in it.
Yeah, and I do enjoy the like people breaking it down and like what each thing means and why it's important and why at that time period and things like that. Like I do enjoy that. But like there's nothing like having God just talk to you. And
Right.
and sometimes I'll hear something in there that has nothing to do with the story. It's just oh, okay, I needed to hear that. Like that's one way of looking at something I've been stuck on.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I've tried to
But
follow certain books in the Bible, certain chapters, and I start finding myself like, wait a minute, reading those same lines over and over again because I'm not
yeah.
really catching what it's meaning, and I
Yeah.
end up kind of going to the next chapter and try to come back to it later. But Chow Yun Cat, I love your name, Chow Yun Cat. I
Yeah,
just I
yeah,
picture this cat in a ninja uniform. I don't know why. I'm a maniac, but he says, then Jesus told him, quote, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. John, that's the book of John, chapter
yeah.
20. That's
And it
it.
makes me
Yeah.
happy. It makes me happy because that's us.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, because
exactly. That's what I was like. That verse caught me when I saw it pop up, and thank you, Chow. Thank you. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm not making fun of you. I love you. I love your name. It makes
yeah.
me smile. Oh
Well,
my
because
gosh.
everyone has like these these names they pick up, like they they use as their avatar names, and it always means something to them, and
Yeah.
sometimes we're not always privy to what exactly that means, right? And
No, I
and
know. I've seen the name. I can't forget this name for the rest of my life. I've seen it on a chat once. The person's name was Pootie Corn.
yeah,
I can never not think of that name every time I go into a chat. It's just I don't know.
it
It
says
was
what?
Pootie Corn.
Oh my,
POOTI corn. Like the
oh
kind you
my
eat.
God. Yes, I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
And now whenever I'm in chat, I look for somebody named Pootie Corn just because
Yeah.
he named it
Sometimes,
after his cat, the Chinese actor Chow Yun Fat. Yeah.
oh, I get it. Oh, Cellar Door. No, you didn't really miss a big fight, but it's like a big misunderstanding that hopefully will get solved. But yeah, not really.
It'll
In my long stream, you can watch it for yourself and get your own perspective, I guess.
yeah, he didn't miss anything.
Yeah, you didn't really miss anything. It was all the same stuff that normally was there, but just nothing new.
Oh,
Let's put it that way. Nothing new. Just some misunderstanding, I think.
My evangelist Michael, you're right. He said if there is a verse you do not understand, there is another verse that works in harmony with the other verse to bring understanding. That's true.
Yeah,
That is true. I have found that a couple times where I found a similar verse that kind of made me understand. I'm like, oh, and then it clicked from something I read before.
yeah,
And thank you, Michael. You're absolutely right. Just got to
yeah.
keep studying and keep reading. That's why the word is food for the brain.
Oh, I love it. I love
Amen.
it. And like you would think you'd get tired of like the same old like epistles, the same old letters, the same old the listening to the gospels and stuff, but it's you
Oh,
always catch
totally.
something new. Oh my God, it's amazing. And I wonder this, right? Because I know not everybody has time to do all of this stuff that that I do, and like I
Yeah.
wonder like how do people live their lives and then not fit that in, but like there's just no way if you have like a life and kids and things to do, like there's no
You
way
got
to
to
do it.
make a way.
You
Oh,
got to
no,
make
no,
a
no.
way.
You got to make a way because I just read this in one of these books about hearing the voice of God. And she said it's important to put aside time for God because you'll find that your life will start to fall apart if you don't get your time to for prayer, for scripture, for worship. And you got to make the time, and you're going to find that you're going to find that the devil uses busyness, okay? Not business, busyness. Like the devil will find things to keep you busy so that you won't spend time with the word.
Yeah.
And when I read that in her book, I'm like, geez, she's absolutely right. Because there are times where I'll sit here and scroll through the most senseless stuff on YouTube for an hour and a half. And then I look up and realize how much time has gone by. I could have been doing much better stuff with my time. And if you can
Yeah.
find time to sit here on YouTube and, not saying that spending time on your show is bad. It's just saying, like, sometimes we just zone out and we do something totally senseless, and
I
we
get
could
it.
have been spending time with the word. We make time for our children. We make time to cook food. We make time to go to work, and we make time to do the things we want to do. Why shouldn't spending time with the word be any different than that?
You're
It
right.
needs to be. It's important.
I agree with that because like, I know
Sorry.
that like there's people that have like these goals of like, oh, I want to read the Bible once in my life or something, And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, you can knock out like 4 or 5 books in a few hours, right? If you're just listening to it, right? Cleaning the house,
Yep.
listening to the Bible. And so if you can watch a ball game, right, or like a
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
right, then you could like one of the Gospels is a couple hours, like Genesis is like 3 or 4 hours, right? But like
Yep.
like those epistles go by like an hour here, half hour here, 20 minutes for that one, right? Like
Right.
you can really uh get chunks of it in, and it's I mean
And
I've
it'll
been
change you. It'll
It
change you to
will.
where you get excited for it after a while, and if you stop, you'll start to miss it, and you'll,
Right.
oh, but I'll get to it later. Oh, but I'll get to it later, and pretty soon the devil will find a way to just make you forget that you want to hear the word, you want to
That's
read it,
right.
you need to. And
Yep.
yeah, you got to
Exactly.
spend time with that word. And okay, yeah, I'll make a video for you later. I'll tell you that story about spending time with the word.
Yay.
So, yay.
All right. Well, let's round out, right? I think. Oh, thank you so much for coming on, and
Of course.
thank you.
Oh, Luke, I wanted to say thank you to Luke real quick. Your show this morning with Luke, oh, he was awesome. He had my husband and I fired up. We were just like shouting, like, yeah, we totally agree. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to shout out to Luke real quick. Thank you,
I
brother.
always enjoy my talks with Luke, man. I do.
Yeah.
I look forward to it, really.
Yeah.
And
That
so,
was good.
yeah. So, I'm grateful, guys. Thanks for coming out, right? And I'm gonna have 2 shows tomorrow. I know that if you guys got family, whatever, and you can't make it, and there's only 1 or 2 of us, then that's good too. If not, if everybody's here, that's cool too. So, just
Yeah.
I love you guys. This is the best part of my day. I mean, really, other than talking to my kids or talking to God, right? This is it right here. Like.
Amen.
All the stuff in between is work for these moments, right? This is how I relax, really, And sometimes I'll be thinking about the show right before the show, where it's like I'll fall asleep literally right before the show because I know I'm about to relax, And so anyway, I'm grateful, and so all praise Jesus for His sacrifice and His grace. All glory to God, and pray for the children. I will see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Amen.